Hey, Inspired Tribe. How's it going? Welcome to the Inspired Livestream here on the Inspired channel. My name is Jean Nolan, and this is my wonderful wife, Kristin Nolan.
Welcome, everyone.
And we're really excited that you're here on this beautiful Monday, March 28th, 2022. It's quite amazing that we've been doing this now for 2 years, the Inspired Livestream and live streams, and we are healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, and we're unapologetically free. That's been the mantra for the Inspired live stream for 253 live streams now, Inspired Tribe. Thank you for tuning in, for being here. I'll welcome you all in a live chat. We have a really important topic today, something that when you grasp and implement it, it really can completely transform your life, and something that we've been working on for many years, helping people to do it as well. Let us welcome you in a live chat. See who is here. Lynn is here. Welcome. How's it going? Carol from Tennessee. Good to see you. Ramona is here. Natalie's here. Charles is here. Welcome. Then we have Miriam is here. Frank is here aus Deutschland. Schön, dass du hier bist, Frank. Then we have Alan. Agnieszka is here. Welcome. Good to see you. We have T-Core. Derek. Emma is here from Italy. Ciao, Emma. Come stai? We have Ryan from New Zealand. Wonderful to see you. Awakened Spirit. We have Paul, Yo-Yo, Evelyn, Terry, Jen from Brisbane, Australia. How's it going? Love that we're represented all across the world today. Anita, good to see you guys. I want to make a quick announcement before we dive into this topic. You might have already seen it, but it's official. We are going locals, and we've been saying this right for a while that that it's important to go local. But this locals is different. It's a social media platform that belongs to Rumble, the video platform. And but in itself, it's its own ecosystem. And Kristin and I put out the intention last year that we were, we desired to be on a platform in a place that's independent technologically, that has their own infrastructure, that will not censor us, and that will not put any restrictions on us. We really put this out. So we put ourselves in the vibes and said, that's how we want to create, that's how we want to communicate, that's what we want to do. And we didn't really go and hunt for it or actively look for it. And so a few months ago, locals approached us, the platform, and they said they love what we were doing and they want to invite us to be on their platform. And we had a video call with Tad over there, and I said, Tad, listen, I love what you're telling us, I love the concept, but here's one question, and this is a make it or break it question. Will you commit to us here on this call that you will never censor us, and that you will never silence us while we're on your platform? And do you have the technological means to deliver on that promise? And Tad says, yes, 100%. We're censor free. Second of all, we have our own servers, we have our own infrastructure, and that's what makes us independent. So we said, okay, sold. We're on. And so we joined locals, and we want to invite you to join it as well. You can become a member on locals. It's free. And you join the platform and join the inspired community there, where we will share content that we cannot and will not share anywhere else. And then there's going to be a different tier for supporters, which means that you can, for a small fee, become a supporter. It's either $5 a month or $50 a year. And there we will have videos and content that we have nowhere else. So you either become a member and a supporter later. Just check it out. The link's up there. It's inspired.locals.com. And we look forward to being there and having this free experience. Honestly, before we dive into today's topic, I just want to tell you that it's become increasingly challenging to do these live streams here on YouTube, because we can literally see in the metrics that the algorithms are not distributing this. We get messages, a ton of messages. People are not getting their notifications. It's just not a very good partnership right now, although we appreciate, the years on YouTube and everything it's given us. So that being said, please join us on locals. We will share exclusive content there that we won't share anywhere else. Just click the link after this live stream and sign up for free. So let's dive into today's topic, which is called 0 to 80 in 6 years, or the great life paradox. And why this topic is so close to our hearts is because in all of our relationships with our clients, in all of our sessions with groups, in all of the work that we have done, one thing becomes so clear to people is once they realize where their behavior, where their reactions, and where their habits come from, once they realize this crucial point, that's when they can truly begin to change and really begin to transform their lives. And I'm not speaking about diets, I'm not speaking about exercise, I'm talking about the inner necessary changes. But how do we, what does that mean, 0 to 80 in 6 years? So let's say you go to school, you have a top-notch education. Let's say you do everything in your power to educate yourself and to gain knowledge and go through life and have a great job and have everything. And still, even though you've done all these things, there's a very, very great chance that most of your behaviors, habits, and reactions come from the time in your life when you were 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 years old. And this is scientifically easy to explain, but emotionally and mentally hard to accept. The reason being that from 0 to 6, maybe 7, we are in a completely different brainwave and consciousness state than we are later on in life. We are basically almost in a hypnotic state of consciousness, which means that we absorb everything filter free. We simply, like a sponge, we absorb everything we see, everything we hear as truth. We just save it in our systems as truth. In the subconscious mind as truth. We don't filter it. Later on, we develop filters and we can filter things in and let them in or out, but we don't have that when we're 0 to 6. This is why these are called the formative years. What happens is, and this is the paradox, this is why I call it the great life paradox. So many times people will come to us and they will share their life story and they will say how challenging it was to grow up with a dad like they had, or a grandfather or grandmother, how they were maybe abusive, or that how they were very strict or very not, and that they swore they would never become like them. However, when you really examine their lives, they are exactly in their habits, in their reactions, like the people they swore they would never become like. And this is not really a choice until you understand it's a choice. The reason is that your reactions, how you react to certain situations in life, how you go through certain patterns of life, happens from the subconscious. Most of the time, we do not make conscious decisions, we make subconscious decisions. And so, whatever is programmed in our subconscious mind is what's going to play out in our lives. So, even if we have observed something in our early childhood years that we hated, that we felt very bad about, was very painful, when we go through life, we find ourselves reacting the same way because we react from a subconscious programming. This is why most people live out their first 6 lives over and over and over again over the course of their lives. They run into the same problems. There is another factor that plays into this that we're not going to touch deeply on today, which is the family constellation factor, which means that every family system has a generational energy that's, when it's not healed and when it's not solved, it just kind of passes on from generation to generation and creates a chain reaction of problems. But focusing on these formative years, what can we do about this? Because a lot of people have heard about this, they've heard about this subconscious programming, and they think just knowing that it's there helps. No, there's a number of steps that we need to take in clearing this up and in healing this, and then developing new, better programs. Because one thing is clear: you will never be conscious 100% of the time, because it's simply too energy intense for our system, for the amount of tasks that we do every day in a average societal matrix life, or even if you're just outside but doing a task every day, doing 100 different things every day. You have to have subconscious programs. Or you would do everything consciously, brushing your teeth, putting on your socks. Every little step would be conscious. And while this would be beneficial, it's highly unlikely that anyone will ever get to that state. So what we need to do first is accept that there is a programming that runs us, that there is a subconscious mind. If you fight this truth, this is an absolute truth. This is a fact. This is a 100% fact. If you fight this, just because your programming might have come from someone you don't like, or it might have come from a childhood you don't appreciate, then you're going to struggle all your life. So first you accept that this is where it comes from. The second step is to examine it. This is where you need to find processes for you that work for you or that you feel comfortable with. We use certain processes, but there's others that use other processes. Where you go deep enough into these subconscious states, into these subconscious spheres, examine what belief systems are there, heal. This is important. Forgiveness needs to happen because ultimately there's always some blame. Ultimately, there's always some guilt. Ultimately, there's always something connected to those beliefs that keeps them there. So the forgiveness part is really important, which allows them to dissolve, but then we still have habits, we still have muscle memory. And so we need to create new, better serving beliefs that we program subconsciously. That's where going into deep states, deep meditation, deep relaxation, deep exercises comes in, because you then enter this subconscious state and you put in new information over and over and over again until it becomes a program, a belief. And yes, we will always have programs and beliefs that we run. But bottom line is, are these beneficial? Are they true? Are they authentic? Or are they something that holds us back in life? So this is really important. This is why going so deep is really important. And this requires a showing up on your part. This is basically, at a minimum, this is a 3-month deep process, but I would say really to turn things around, it takes years. It sometimes takes years because you cannot do it all at once. You kind of focus and start with the things that are the most painful or that are the most hindering in your life, and then you work your way out to the things that are not as problematic, until you feel that you have really cleared up the subconscious programming that wasn't serving you and replaced it with beliefs, habits, and thoughts that do serve you. And this requires commitment to the processes. It also requires commitment to getting help if you need it. Uh, Usually it's almost impossible, especially when you find yourself with the same challenges over decades, over and over again. It's almost impossible to do it by yourself, simply because you're so biased. You've already created so many stories around it that you can't see the forest for the trees. And this is not a judgment. This is not to point fingers. This is human nature. That's what we do. That's how we comfort ourselves. So if you really want to do that, it's absolutely we'd absolutely encourage you to seek out coaching, to seek out a kind of coaching that empowers you. What we do is really, when we work with one-on-one clients, which has become um, a little less over the past years. There's simply other work that we're involved in now. But when we work with groups or one-on-one clients, our intention is always to not make you a consumer of what we give you, but empower you, give you the tools, give you the practices, give you the exercises, give you, uh, empower you so that you can use these whenever you need them, whenever things come up, whenever you find yourself with a challenge in life. You have the tools to not just overcome the challenge, but eventually thrive through the challenge, which is really what challenges are there for. It's to elevate us to a new level of thriving. And so it's really important. I would encourage you to do your own examination into and just look at your day. It's really easy to find those patterns. When do you react? I mean, if you have children, this is even easier. When do you react? Because when you have children, there's constantly something to react to. But when do you react in a way where you, if you really examine and go, oh man, that's what my mother did. That's what my father did. That's what my grandfather did. You find yourself saying the same words. You find yourself saying the same things, even though they might not even reflect your true belief, just because they're subconscious programs. And you say these things and you go, oh my God, I sound like my dad. I hated it when he said that, but I sound like my dad when I say it. So these are really good ways to just examine how these programs run. And I want to say one thing again. This is not to blame yourself. This is not to guilt yourself into anything. This is not to put yourself down. This is an empowerment thing. Because once you realize this, you can change it. We cannot change what we're not aware of. But when we become aware of something, we can change as much as we want to and transform as much as we want to. That's why this is important. So 0 to 6, 0 to 7 are the formative years. Then, when you are an adult, you either benefit or suffer from those formative years. And this is where you need to step into now and make the decision. Now that change needs to happen, you need to examine that subconscious programming and you need to reprogram and heal yourself. And when I say need to, of course you don't need to, but if you really want to thrive in this life, you have to find out what's holding you back. You have to find out where it comes from. And just working on the surface level, just working on the conscious level, this is where so much of the spiritual quote unquote community falls into the trap. They're told they don't need to do anything, they just need to think positive thoughts. But positive thoughts are on the conscious level, they're up on the surface. It's like saying you can clean the ocean with a floating device. Where does the floating device point? It points upwards, it points on the surface. You need to go deep into the ocean of your subconscious mind where all the things are stored. Examine and heal there. And this lightweight drive through a spiritual community wants to give you the easy things that sound easy. Just think positive thoughts, do a few affirmations every morning, and watch how your life becomes this magical unicorn field of beautiful rainbow moments. And I'm being a little cynical and sarcastic on purpose because I've seen so much pain and suffering due to this false teaching, due to this oversimplified teaching, because these are statements taken out of context and given people, and everyone in 2 days becomes a law of attraction coach and puts this out to people and they don't even realize how much suffering they're creating for creating completely false expectations due to a lack of understanding of human psychology and physiology and human spirituality. So this is we got to be responsible with this. If we step out into either a one-on-one situation, a group situation, or a public speaking situation, we got to really, really, really be responsible with what we put out and what we what information we share with people. So this goes deep. This is work. It requires discipline. It requires showing up, but it is the most beneficial thing you'll do in your life. It's simple. It's simple and easy. It's the most beneficial thing you'll do in your life. It's because you will literally change the trajectory of everything. And if that's, if your life, if you want it to be joyful and if you want it to feel adventurous, and if you want it to feel happy, and if you want it to be filled with love and abundance, if you want it to be filled with all the beautiful things, then this is the path we all need to take. And we have been taking, and we will continue to take, because it is a continuous journey. However, it's never over. However, once the bulk is done, you're kind of just, it's like, once you paint your whole house, every now and then you got to brush up a little bit, and you got to there's some paint chips, and you got to finish, touch them up again, but you're not doing the big labor anymore. So this is really important to us, and we just want to tell you that don't put yourself down. Just get started today. Find a good way to get started on this. Then, Inspired Tribe, we also wanted to tell you that we are basically full with Yado, but this is a disclaimer, because we have saved a few extra seats for people that are still waiting for travel confirmation arrangements because they're crossing borders. We have still a few seats open for you if you want to join Yado, the beautiful retreat that's going to happen from May 5th through May 8th in Cape San Blas, Florida. So we were almost about to say done, closed, over, but no. If you still want to sign up for the retreat, it's going to be a beautiful going deep, connecting with your true higher power state. That's where we're going to go. Again, we're going to leave the comfort zone, leave the habits of your daily lives, and we're going to go deep, really deep, beautiful, deep meditations. Some of it's going to be challenging, and some of it's going to be emotional, and some of it's going to really open up spaces you might never have accessed before. But it's also going to be extremely rewarding, fulfilling, and beautiful. This is the journey that we always take together. So we would love to invite you, if you feel inspired, to join the Yato retreat. And what does Yato stand for? You are the one, YATO. Send us an email to info@inspiredchannel.net and put Yato in the subject line. I can tell you someone is already super excited.
Yes.
She's smiling while I'm talking about this. I'm also super excited, but I'm just watching her. She gets so excited about the retreat, and every day, she's going over the program and always fine tuning, always improving, always, let's do this a little different. Let's change this up a little bit. Let's go deeper here. Let's do more of this. I don't know anybody who's as dedicated about helping someone get better, whatever they want to be in their lives, as my wife. That's what she came here for, to help human beings live their best lives, to help them be in their heart space, to help them live love, live beauty and joy and success in their lives. And, I've majorly benefited from this as her husband, but just watching the beautiful interactions, the beautiful transformations that people have when they work with her is absolutely, absolutely wonderful. It always warms my heart. It never gets old, ever, to see people when they first come and work with her. And then when they walk away, you don't even know it's the same person. You don't even realize it's the same person just by how much they have transformed. And so that's what Kristin is doing. She's super excited about the retreat. She's tweaking it every day, making sure everything is really, she's a perfectionist like that. So if you feel inspired to join us from May 5th through May 8th for the Yato retreat in Cape San Blas, Florida, please send us an email to info@inspiredchannel.net and just put YATO Yato in the subject line. We'll send you all the information. There's still a few slots left. And other than that, as we said, we're going to be on locals more, and we're going to decrease the live streams here on YouTube. And it is not unfortunately, it is fortunately that we're moving into greater freedom, as always, expanding into greater freedom. So please join us there, become a member. And if you feel inspired, become a supporter too. It's up to you. But join us there on locals.inspire.com, and we'll see you there with exclusive content. Inspire Tribe, thank you so much for being here. We'll come back again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central, right here on Inspire Channel.